जिंदाबाद जिंदाबाद इस्लाम हमारा जिंदाबाद 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 इस्लाम जिंदाबाद कुरान जिंदाबाद.
Good evening, good afternoon. Welcome to the Teens Talk Show. I'm Alvina Ali, and just want to let you know a bit about what the Teens Talk Show is all about before I hand you over to our teen hosts, as I call them. Now, the Teens Talk Show is a weekly road show which is by, for and about teens. And I have got my teen host, Shehreen Galani, on the left of me, and on the right I've got Lybah Farouk as well. Now, the Teens Talk Show programme showcases everyday issues that teenagers face in our community. Now, our main goal is to provide life skills, helping enhance our youth's ability to take responsibility in making healthier choices, resisting negative pressures, and avoiding risky behaviours as well. So within all that, the teens talk topics will be youth-based, they will be interactive and hands-on. Not only focused on transmitting knowledge, but also at shaping attitudes and developing interpersonal skills. Now, the Teens Talk Show will provide encouragement and identify resources that nurture positive thinking and healthy decision making as well. Now, the Teen Talk Show is focused on our growing youth of today and how teenage early misbehaviour can have a huge impact on defining their future. Now, the show gives teenagers a chance to speak out on issues they face every day. Now, the show will also include dramatisation. I know the girls in the past have given us little case studies, so they will be focusing more on that, and it all depends on their selected topics that they have got as well. So it could include various things such as social issues, teenager struggles with, and further explore obviously the causes, and they will also offer you solutions as well. Now, the discussions directly focus not only on awareness of concerning issues in the community, but also provide tools and resources for solutions. So the Teens Talk Show is aired for the third week now, is it, girls?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, third week. Wow. And hasn't it flown past on Ramadan Radio Wolves? Now, it is our belief that we can all benefit from this great opportunity into exploring and improving the communication between the teens and parents or guardians as well. So I am going to hand you over to my teen hosts, Shehreen and also Lybah, and they will introduce the show, they will introduce themselves, and they will let you know what the subject matter is today. Over to you, girls.
Assalamu alaikum. You are listening to Ramadan Radio. I am your host, Shehreen.
And I'm your teen host, Lybah. Welcome to our Teens Talk Show.
In case you missed our last programme, Teen Talk Show is all about discussing the topics that aren't talked about enough in our community, or they are spoken from the older generation. We feel that this platform can help many people understand what goes in the life of teenagers and their perspectives.
If you want to call in, our telephone number is 01902 972 150. And if you would like to text any messages, text on our WhatsApp number 074 40 420 432. But remember, you cannot call on WhatsApp. We would love you guys to message in your questions or any topics you want us to discuss, and it would be amazing for you guys to call in and we could have a discussion.
So today is our third episode on the bullying series. If you have missed our other previous shows, we talked about the 4 different main types of bullying, which were verbal bullying, physical bullying, relational bullying, and also cyberbullying. Our target audience today is teens, parents, and families.
You can watch and listen to them on our Facebook page, Ramadan Radio Wolves, and we would appreciate it so much if you could leave a like and comment, and it would be amazing if you could share it with your friends and family.
So last week we mainly focused on cyberbullying, what cyberbullying actually is, how it happens, and the ways you can overcome it. During the final part of our show last week, we were talking about a story of a girl who faced cyberbullying and the things that she had to do to just kind of like overcome it or to stop it from happening. So today we have a second story for you, and we hope you enjoy to listen.
My friend told me about a chat website, so I went on it. It was fun at first until there were people who started saying mean things and harassing me on the site for no reason.
I still remember some of the things they said, and I wish I didn't, because you can keep remembering and wondering if this is true. A very important part of this story is to not be pressured by your friends. I know that so many of us want to follow our friends in their footsteps. Sometimes you look up to your friends, or you think that you're very close, so you have to do everything together. But this isn't always the case. It can lead into so many issues for yourself that you can't handle, and it can really affect your mindset.
Because you only know yourself best. Like, you know your friend, but you're not your friend. You're different people. So I don't think you should copy your friends in every single way possible. Yeah, you can copy a few things, but don't do like everything. And if you know you can't like do what they do, don't do it.
Yes, and as we said last week and the week before, friendships are not forever. They come and go. You may be in a really close friendship, but you never know what can happen in the future. Sometimes you may get yourself into a situation, but you're relying on your friend to help you, and then
they can just turn on you.
They can just turn their back on you.
Yeah. And another point is that you need to make your own decisions because you know yourself best.
This one's really important because the decisions that you make now affect your future. You may not realize it, but we are in the stage of life where everything we do does matter. When you were younger, if you did some things that you shouldn't have done, it doesn't have as serious consequences as it does now.
And the things you do on the internet stay there forever. So like, if I don't know you, I could just Google you and I could know things about you that you wouldn't even know are on Google. So everything's on there.
Yes, and I think people need to realize that because we are in the foundation and the building blocks of our life and our future, we may have high dreams and aspirations for our careers and what we may be doing, but they aren't always they can't always happen because of things that have happened in the past.
So now we have another story, and so let me start. When I was 15, year 10 in high school, I was bullied over the internet, and at school it felt like it came out of nowhere. One day, the group of girls I called friends turned against me viciously over Instagram.
They created a fake Instagram profile for me, which contained my cell phone number and instant message name. They photoshopped photographs of me and posted them on this profile. I was getting calls and began being stalked by strange men.
These girls would make up explicit rumors about me, even though they weren't true at all. They would DM me and would send threatening messages. I was afraid to leave the house, to have friends, to pick up the phone. I lived in fear for so long. I knew they were looking for a fight and I refused to give them one, so I deleted all known online presence and changed my number.
I became a prisoner in my own home. Once I left high school, I applied for college outside of my hometown to run away. Now I am 22 and still have to live with the effect of these cool girls. Trauma is hard to recover from, but I know that it's possible and I am stronger now than I have ever been. I'm not scared. I'm not that scared 15-year-old girl, but I am still haunted by the girl I used to be.
So from this story, we can tell that the girl didn't know these things were being said about her, and then when she found out, there are ways you can delete them. So we're going to talk about that, how to report a message, how to report videos on Snapchat and Instagram. So on Snapchat, to report a snap someone sent you, you press and hold on the snap until the white flag button appears. Tap it to report the snap and then let them know what's going on. Same procedure for a story. And then on Instagram, to report a post, you click in on the top right of the post, then click report inappropriate and follow the on-screen instructions. So taking an embarrassing photo or video and sharing it without permission is a serious offence, and that could involve police, because you can't be doing that without someone's consent. It's not right.
Yes, many people may think that it's just for fun, and they say that they'll delete it later, however they never do. There are actually so many ways that people can screenshot different things, even on apps like Snapchat, which tell you if someone has screenshotted or saved a photo. There are ways that you can get on your phone to hide that. This is why it's so dangerous, and you can never actually rely on things that have been in place to prevent it from happening.
So you might send something like a picture to someone on Snapchat, and they could screenshot it on like a different app, and you wouldn't know, and you'd place your trust in someone that betrayed your trust, and then it could be sent to so many people, group chats, everything. It can spread so easily.
Yes, so we're telling you this so you can be aware, not to be scared of everything, not to be scared of social media, because it can be a very good platform. You can increase different things that you want to do.
Make more friends.
You can show off different sides of you that people may know. For example, if you have a really big interest in a hobby, that could be art, that could be makeup,
baking.
You could even like start a business with the platform of Instagram, so people can have an idea of what it is, and it can be so useful for so many different reasons.
But I feel like if you're making friends, trust is a big thing. So I don't think if you've had like a bad experience with someone betraying your trust, you just lose trust in everyone. But that is a hard thing to,
Yeah, I think trust is a very serious thing for that to be damaged. It's like people say, if you have a piece of paper and you scrunch it up, which shows that you've broken the trust of someone, you can always open it up, but there will always be wrinkles in that piece of paper. People always have doubts in their mind to actually, because they say if you've done it once, you can always do it again. And I know that it can be so hard if you have made a mistake in the past, but you do need to consider there's so many different aspects that can be affected.
And because with cyberbullying, there are many impacts. For example, the trust one. So for victims of cyberbullying, it can affect their everyday lives, and it can be a constant source of distress and worry. And because with mobile technology being so freely available, it is an ongoing issue, and it's relentless.
Yes, cyberbullying is a really big thing, as we said, with your career. Everyone, before they employ someone, do a background check to see what you were like when you were younger, because you bring those aspects with you as you grow up. Some people do change, however, you can always go back to bad habits. This is why you need to be really careful when you're on the internet. Some things that you may not know that have been there come back to you and can haunt you. They can make you lose your dream job and do something that you never were planning on doing.
Yeah, it's like with celebrities, like you'll stand someone for so long and then so many tweets come from when they're like really young as well, but that can affect their career so much, and then people just assume that that's what they're like now, but obviously you change as you grow older and you make mistakes when you're young.
Okay, I'm going to come in here now, girls. So you might have seen, let's base this on a real life situation now. We all know who Molly May is, and we all know who Tommy Fury is, don't we, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Now, remember when her dog passed away,
Yes.
Mr. Chai?
Yeah.
Do you think that was a sort of an example of cyberbullying as well?
I think, yes, definitely. She had so many trolls coming after her, making up rumours, spreading lies to make her seem like such a bad person. I think when somebody has so much success and actually has true happiness, people just want to wreck it and turn it down.
Yeah, jealousy is such a big thing, and then once someone sees that someone has so much success that they deserve, like she's such a nice person, and all those hurtful things that were said, and she was distraught at the start. Like what happened to her was obviously horrible.
Yeah, and people take vulnerability as an opportunity to attack when they see someone's side of when they're hurting.
Yeah.
And the way she had to post it for people to actually understand what she was going through. That would have been so hard. It's like pets aren't just pets, they become part of your family. And it's so difficult to lose something so dear to your heart. I know from experience not too long ago, I have 2 budgies and they got hurt, and I was so like hurt within myself. I was so worried and scared. Even in this pandemic that we're in, it's so hard to get support and to actually go out because nobody wants to see you. So that's why it's so hard to, and when you don't know what's wrong, they can't talk English to you.
True. So do you think Molly May made the right decision to shut down social media completely?
I think it was the right decision. I think it would have been very hard because she is an Instagram influencer. It's her job. It's how she makes money and lives on a daily basis. But I think that for her to actually be able to grieve and pass that time.
Because on social media you hear so many stories about people taking their lives, of what people are saying about them, and for how many lives does it take? That you have to realize that words can affect someone. Even if they're famous, money doesn't change your feelings at all. It can still affect you just the same as if she wasn't famous.
I think for Molly May as well, I mean, hats off to her, because obviously she was being cyberbullied by trolls and things like that, and people will target you, that they will make you feel really bad, and that's when you start getting really low as well. So do you think she did the good thing? Obviously she did, because she shut down social media totally, and then she bounced back in 2 days. Do you think that was enough recovery time for her, or do you think she should have been allowed a lot longer?
I think because it's her job, it would have been hard to leave it for so long, but those 2 days could have made a difference to her, because we don't know, obviously we're not her. So
I think maybe if she took some more time off to actually completely come to reality, but it's so hard to actually accept something like that happening to you when all you wanted to give was love and happiness. I think people misinterpret so many things. People were saying that she bought it just as bought the dog as an accessory, which I don't think anyone should assume anything.
So if somebody actually spread rumours about you, what's the best thing to do then?
I think you should not retaliate, because especially when you're angry, you can say so many things that you don't mean, or things can be manipulated.
Yeah, and I feel like in that moment what they want is a reaction straight away. And it's obviously hard to just be quiet and walk away, but that's what our prophet wanted as well. So what we should do, I feel like we should just understand what's going on. So like, keep in touch with the reality and then think about it afterwards, like what could I have said, and then retaliate.
Yeah, because everything's on the internet, everything's there to see by other people. So many people can take things out of context, which is the biggest problem that cyberbullying can bring.
Right, okay, I'm going to go into a WhatsApp message now. So I've got a question here for you. So what do you think teenagers should not share their personal life on social media, and should they only limit themselves to a few things whilst they are using the media?
Okay, so I don't understand the question. Is it asking like what part of your personal life you should...
So basically what they're saying is, what do you think teenagers should not share about their personal life on social media?
I think that if they're in like a relationship, I don't think they should share that, because people can like be so jealous. They could just try and ruin your relationship with someone. And I feel like posting something, you don't really need to post a relationship, because you know how it is yourself. You don't need other people's approval for it.
Yeah, I think with your personal life, if you are on social media and a big face, people expect you to share everything, and there is definitely a limit. And with a celebrity, it literally means it equals no privacy. There can be so many cameras everywhere, people who you don't even know trying to spy on you, trying to get like little bits of information
so they can post that,
and it's not even, you don't even have to be so famous. It can be within your school. It can be people are following you or hiding and trying to see different things. It's a really big and serious thing when you are being stalked online and even in person. You don't feel safe with anything, and it can be really hard on your mental state.
So with the question, I feel like you should leave your private life out of it completely. And then you're probably asking, what do I post on social media then? You can post the things you're proud of, like your hobbies and that. And I feel like that could just be enough.
I was going to come on to that. I was going to ask you girls exactly what you do post. We're going to go into a break. So when we come back over the break, we will be talking to our teen hosts again, and then we will be sharing what they share on social media, because obviously there is a limit or something that they might feel comfortable with. So we will see you right after the break.
اذانوں کی ٹھنڈک نمازوں کی خوشبو روح پرور قرینے سلام مقدس مہینے سلام کے دلکش نگینے سلام مبارک مقدس مہینے سلام نگاہوں میں توبہ کی رمجم کے پھول نگاہوں میں توبہ کی رمجم کے پھول تلاوت سے پرنور سینے سلام مبارک مقدس مہینے سلام وقت کے دلکش نگینے سلام مقدس مہینے سلام عجب روح کا من و سلوان تو عجب روح کا من و سلوان تو کرم ہی کرم کے سفینے سلام مبارک مقدس مہینے سلام وقت کے دلکش نگینے سلام مبارک مقدس مہینے سلام سکھاتا ہے غلبہ ہمیں نفس پر سکھاتا ہے غلبہ ہمیں نفس پر ترقی کے پرنور زینے سلام مبارک مقدس مہینے سلام وقت کے دلکش نگینے سلام مبارک مقدس مہینے سلام منا لے جو رب قیس رمضان میں منا لے جو رب قیس رمضان میں کہیں اس کو 11 مہینے سلام مبارک مقدس مہینے سلام وقت کے دلکش نگینے سلام مبارک مقدس مہینے سلام وقت کے دلکش نگینے سلام مبارک مقدس مہینے سلام
Okay, you've just heard a beautiful nasheed. We are back from our break. It is Radio Ramadan Radio Wolves, and you are tuned in to the Teens Talk Show. And I've got my teen host Shehreen and Lybah in the studio with me. Now, we were talking about cyberbullying, and cyberbullying is bullying and it is harassment using technology. And we were talking about Instagram. And we talked about Molly May.
Yeah.
We thought we'll use her as a good example. And girls, I wanted to know, are you both on Instagram and other social media handles such as Snapchat, Facebook, Twitter?
So both of us are actually only on Snapchat.
Yeah.
I think for myself, the reason I'm not on Instagram is because first, I don't feel a need to actually have it. I think it can cause a really big distraction, especially because we're both taking our GCSEs next year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think studying is the most important thing at the moment, and then like any time after, we can always get it if we want to.
Yeah, and for me, I feel like I can just post what I want on Snapchat. I don't really need Instagram for that. And I can just contact my friends through Snapchat. And that's the same with Instagram, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, for an old fogey like me, let's talk about Snapchat.
Okay.
So how can you actually control what you're posting?
So there's actually many different settings on Snapchat. Some people may not realize there are settings to change if anyone can message you or if only your friends that you have on Snapchat can message you.
Yeah.
By friends, it's not like actually your
Yeah.
personal friends. It's whoever you add on
Add on
Snapchat.
yeah.
But is that the safe thing to do, to add somebody onto Snapchat who you don't know?
That's not the safe thing to do. I think many people do that just so they can get a high number of views,
Yeah.
just so they can feel popular, even though it's not the best thing to do at all.
Because then you're obviously more prone to people sending bad messages and things that you don't want to see. And there's also a setting for how to, like, when you're ghost mode. So basically what that is on Snapchat you have a snap map and it can show you where you're located. So anyone that has you on Snapchat can see where you are. And if you have ghost mode turned on, you can't see where your location is, basically.
Yes, and some people may be surprised, but it is very, very accurate. People can see exactly where you are at that exact moment. So you should definitely turn off your snap maps to turn it on to ghost mode.
And you'd think people don't actually look at it, but they do.
Yes, it is weird, but people do try and see where you are for more reasons than you may think. We remember that we had a friend and people tried to track him on his ghost mode, on his location.
They found him.
So that's why it is scary. Then there's also with your friends, you can make private stories. So it's very limited to the people that you want to see it. Sometimes you know people in your class, but you don't want to share everything so they can see it. So you can choose people to actually be on that private story.
Yeah, so you have a main story and then you can make your own private story.
All right. Okay. So both of you are just on Snapchat then?
Yeah.
Yes.
So you've not thought about having Facebook at all? No, neither.
Not really.
I think people in our generation think that Facebook is like the older people.
Okay.
I think, well, I don't think it is. I think that you can find different things on Facebook, but I'm not actually too familiar with Facebook.
I heard you have Instagram. So do you want to talk about
Oh, yes. I've got quite a few social media handles, and just like you girls, I don't have a personal account. So mine's more to do with the radio work that I am doing. And that's because I in myself feel comfortable just posting about my show, what it's about, which artists I'm going to have. You won't see many pictures of me unless it's a selfie. And that's about it, really. Like you girls, I don't feel comfortable posting my private life. I don't want to let people know what restaurant I'm eating at or where I am and who I'm linking up with and stuff like that. And like you said, these pictures, they can be downloaded, can't they?
Yeah.
And people can misuse them. And some of the photographs that people have used, they've morphed them, would you say, where they Photoshop them, and
add filters.
That's right. So I don't think I'd be comfortable doing that myself, and this is partly why I chose to keep mine just on the radio and what I do and stuff like that. Again, everyone has theirs, and like you said, there are so many people out there that they think they're living a wonderful life and they're going out taking photographs, but they're just like Peter, Jane.
Yeah.
They're just like a Shagufta or a Zada. You know what I mean? People get influenced by other people being seen as, especially celebrities.
Yes.
Where they are living this high life, and then a person like myself might be thinking, oh, okay, let me try that and this and that and everything. And then you're doing it for the wrong reasons.
Exactly.
Like you says, Shehreen, it's all about making numbers up, isn't it?
Yes.
About popularity. But where does popularity get you? I mean, it doesn't get you anywhere, does it?
No.
Now, take, for example, Shashant Rajput Singh, the Bollywood actor who passed away. Look how many followers. He had millions of followers.
Yes, he did.
He had like millions of likes on his other social media handles and stuff like that. And bless him,
And I think
the drastic measure that he took.
like being on Bollywood itself, it's such a high class thing, and people think that they have such a glamorous lifestyle.
Yeah.
But honestly, he's like everybody else, and he faces the exact same things as we do. And what happened to him was very unfortunate.
Yeah, because I think with social media, it's so easy to create the perfect life. But you're not really living that life, are you? You're just making a show for everyone else, and then those people seeing that, it can affect them so much.
I think people need to bear in mind that it's snippets, it's only seconds.
It's just the best parts of your life.
That's right.
Of what someone's living where they live years and so long.
So what would you say to people who are creating catfish accounts? Now, people love to hide behind these secret accounts that make them look like different people, and it gives them the freedom to be keyboard warriors.
Yeah.
What would you say to catfish accounts and to people who have got those sort of accounts?
I think they're just bored.
I don't know how you can have
nothing
the time
better to do. It's only I don't see the point of living behind a screen. Well, it's not good for you anyways, and it's all a lie. What are you actually benefiting from it?
And creating a whole fake persona about, like, I don't get how you can live in someone else's shoes. It doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah, I think sometimes people try and have it as an escape. However, it can get them into serious trouble if they get founded.
And I think with everything, you can become addicted with it, and then it can cause so many issues for them in the future. Because if they were to be found out that they are a catfish, and also when you are a catfish, you can do so many bad things, like.
Yeah, I think especially when someone's trying to reenact somebody else, that can be one of the worst things, because you can ruin their reputation by sending so many messages from their name that they may not even be aware of.
And there's so many young people that people can take like vulnerability from. And I think that's crazy.
Right, I've got a WhatsApp question here for you girls. It says here, do you think people post on social media to show themselves as perfect whilst they are trying to hide depression or low self-esteem?
I think that can be one of the main reasons that people actually do that. They may think that if they have a flawless photo on Instagram, it can make them
happier and just fix their life, but it doesn't at all.
No, it doesn't. It's all fake.
It's like fake it till you make it, but sometimes while you're faking it, you can just get lost into it, and then it's hard to come back out of it.
Yeah, I think people should actually take the right seek the right help, because people are there to help them.
Yeah,
because I know for a lot of people, social media can be an outlook for them, so it can be like an escape from their actual life, and I see why they do that, but sometimes there's other ways you can deal with it, but I know that can be a way to deal with it.
Right, now we all know that technology and also social media, it plays an ever-present part in teens' lives as well, making them vulnerable to cyberbullying, which we've talked about. However, Lybah, I believe there are a few things that teens can do to reduce their chances of being bullied online. So you've got some tips to share, haven't you?
Yeah, but before, can I talk about the National Bullying Helpline?
Oh, yes. Yeah. Yes, please do.
So the National Bullying Helpline is a website and helpline run by volunteers, and they're open from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday to Friday. And it's a voluntary run organisation, and you can give your experiences to them, and they can have a chat with you. But you might think that it's a quick fix, but that's not what they're meant for. They're there to calm you down and help you get your mind straight, so you can think about what's happening, and you can be anonymous.
Yes, there is full private and confidentiality between you and the person you may be talking to. They will have a non-biased opinion about you, because they won't know who you are and what has happened. However, they can always help you, and it is better to get it out in the open, even if it's not with someone you know. It can really help you
just to talk about it.
And improve your state.
So now we have the 10 top tips if you're being bullied online. So the first one is to tell an adult you trust if you are being cyberbullied. So then again, that could link to helplines or your family and friends.
Yes, it's important that you trust the person you're talking to, so you don't have that extra doubt in your mind if you're unsure about if they may tell somebody.
Yeah.
So the second point is don't respond or retaliate to bullying messages. It can make things worse. As I said before, when you're angry, you say things that you don't actually mean, or things can be taken out of context. This can be really bad for your reputation or even your future.
Yeah, and anything you say just stays online. And the third one is block users who send you nasty messages. And we've told you the ways to how to report messages and posts and how to block a user.
Yes, you can visit our last show's video. It's on our Facebook.
Yeah.
So you can watch that to see all the different ways of actually identifying the bullying and how you can report it and even overcome it.
I think most important as well is that you must, if you know who the bully is, and even if it's a catfish account, you can also tell them to stop harassing you as well.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, I think that's the best first approach. Obviously, let them know what they're doing to you, and what they are doing, it is harmful. And more importantly, it's not cool.
It's not.
It's juvenile, isn't it?
Yeah.
And obviously, therefore, hopefully that person will take your comments on board and they'll start respecting and backing down a bit as well.
Yeah, and also if you report a thing, like a profile, they could be doing it to so many other people as well. So if you report it, it's a step closer to getting their account deleted completely. Yeah. And you could help so many people in the process.
Right.
Yes. So our next point is to save abusive emails or messages that you receive. This is really important if you take it to a legal side, or even if you want to report it to your school so they actually know how bad the situation is. It's important that the screenshots are genuine. If you try to edit it, it can be found out, and then say if it's involved with the police, it will not be good as you if you are the victim. And it's really helpful so the teacher can actually see how bad the situation is.
I think the other best thing, sorry to interrupt there, Lybah, is to actually screen record. As well, because that's hard evidence that isn't. Then you can pass that on to your teachers, your parents, or anyone else.
Because it's much harder to edit a screen record than it is for. The next one is to make a note of dates and times you receive bullying messages, as well as details you have of the user ID and the link. So I think this one's important because this gives you more proof for the police or whoever you're telling, because with this proof they can't change that if you have the time and date and everything.
Yes. So our next point is don't pass on any cyberbullying videos or message. This is also cyberbullying. I think people don't realise that if they send on a mean or rude chainmail, they are also taking part in the cyberbullying. It is called joint enterprise, and you can suffer the consequences the same as the person who wrote it, sometimes even worse.
Yeah, so don't think that just because you didn't start it, you won't get a consequence. You'll still get the exact same.
Yeah.
The next one is if you are bullied repeatedly, change your user ID or profile and use a name that doesn't give any information away about you. See, with social media, you can use your actual name and you can use a fake name, or not a fake name, like a user
catfish account sort of thing.
Yeah, but not that. I'm thinking more just something with sparkle in it or something. It's not your name. It's just a name you've come up with so nobody knows any information about you. And I feel like some people do this one a lot as well.
Yeah, I think people forget that they can always recreate an account. They don't have to stick with the same one they have. We know many people who just recreate so many accounts for fun. But you can do it if your account is either being hacked or if you're being bullied. And remember that you don't always have to use your real name. You can use different words or catchphrases, but don't pretend to be someone else.
else.
because
I'll tell you what, the other good thing about Google is, especially if people are being cyberbullied and stuff, did you know that they can Google themselves as well? Because if you Google yourself, right, what you'll find is through the search, if you put your name in, if any photos come up,
Yeah.
you'll know what's being shared and what's being posted.
Yeah.
So that's a good way of seeing if there's anything about you on there. And the other thing is that you can also get in touch with Google and say, look, can you look to remove these pictures?
I didn't know you could do that.
Yeah, so that's
neither
another
did
tip
I.
as well.
Because I'm
Mm.
looking on Google and I can see my face. I'm like, how did that end?
Yeah, I think especially like with kids our age or maybe slightly younger, they do have fun with typing their name, and
Yeah.
if a photo comes up,
Yeah.
they'll be
But
so happy.
Yeah, it's so cool. Oh, look, I'm on Google. But it's a bit creepy at the same time. Like, how did that get there, you'd think?
Yeah, and
It's
you
always
guys-
best to, like I said, get in touch with Google and get it removed before somebody else gets their hands on it.
Yes. So our next tip is you can visit bullying.com. This is a website that has trained counsellors that can support you if you're being bullied, either by chatting online or you can call them with the free helpline. You can they can really help you because they are trained and have they know how to overcome and the things to say.
And so if you feel like you can't trust someone because what help will they do, you can talk to trained professionals and then you'll have in your heart that you know they can help.
Yeah.
Okay. And did you mention about protecting your password as well?
Well, that's not one of the tips, but that's an important.
That is very important as well, isn't it?
Yes, especially with sharing your password. You should, even with your closest friends, you should not share your password. And you should make a secure password that people wouldn't think of you having.
And like with Snapchat as well, let's say you want someone to post something for you. If you don't have your phone, you can give them your password, but also on Snapchat you can change your password afterwards so they don't have access to your account, which I think is really good.
Yeah, I think with that though, it can be a little it can turn against you, because if they have your password, they can always change it before you can
that's also a point.
log into your account.
Right. Have you done all the top 10
we've
then?
done all the top 10.
Right. Okay. Can you think of any more that we could share with our listeners as well?
I feel like there's many sites online that you can look up to find out more tips and lines that you could also look at.
Do you think it's important for people to educate themselves about cyberbullying?
Yes, definitely.
Because I think it's best to know than not know and then have the reason, oh, my school didn't teach me about this. But I think you should educate yourself sometimes.
Yeah, I don't think that you can use it as an excuse that your school hasn't told you. I think though with schools they might be able to input a bit more on cyberbullying. They do a lot about bullying.
Physical and relational, but cyberbullying is
probably like skipped over, or it's repeated so monotonously that you just don't absorb the information.
Do you think there's enough awareness about cyberbullying?
I think there's enough awareness, but it's not been said in the right way. I feel like it could be said differently, that it would relate to the teenager more, because they do the same stories, but they don't really connect with you, I think.
Right. Okay, we're coming to the end of our show. We've only got 50 seconds. Are you going to let people know what we've got coming up next week?
So next week we will be doing things like extracurricular activities for people our age, older or younger, and to like help people to find maybe their passion by listening to somebody else.
Right, okay, we're coming to the end of our Teens Talk Show, and we will see you same time, same place next week. Stay blessed.